Here at King's University College, which is a smaller campus within Western University. And today I am just here to talk to you about our campus, the programs that we offer, and what makes King's a place to be, become, and belong. Before I get started, I did want to give a land acknowledgement, as our campus at King's University College is situated on the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lunapawak, and Chinungtan peoples, all of whom have a long-standing relationship to the land of southwestern Ontario and the city of London. The First Nations communities of our local area include the Chippewa of the Thames First Nation, Oneida Nation of the Thames, and Munsee Delaware Nation. In our region, there are 11 First Nations communities, as well as a growing Indigenous urban population. King's University College, myself, and my colleagues all value the significant historical and contemporary contributions of local and regional First Nations and all of the original peoples of Turtle Island. So the first question many students tend to ask is, why should I choose to come to King's? And you can see up on the screen here, I have quite a few different reasons why King's tends to be a popular choice for students, including but not limited to our small campus and class size. King's is a very small campus. We have about 3,500 students in total and a first year class size of about 50 to 60, which then gets smaller the higher up in years as you specialize more in your program. So due to that really small class size, you do get a very intensive student-faculty interaction, a very quality degree program, the supportive community, comprehensive student services, and all that kind of stuff that comes with being a small campus, which is really, really nice. You do also have guaranteed residence and guaranteed entrance scholarships that are pretty generous, which I'll talk about a little later in the presentation. As I mentioned earlier, we are a smaller campus within Western University, which does mean that our students get to graduate with a University of Western Ontario degree. So King's students are considered to be Western students. You get a Western student card, you have access to the facilities, clubs, sports, teams, you can take classes at Western or any of the other Western campuses, all that kind of stuff. And you do also have the unique opportunity to complete a double major or minor across the campuses as well. So we like to say that King students kind of get the best of both worlds, because not only do you get the big campus degree, but you get all the benefits of studying in a smaller scale environment and getting that individualized educational experience that we can offer you here at King's. We are located in London, Ontario. So if you aren't familiar with King's or Western, London is about 2 hours away from Toronto with a population of about 551,000. We are the 11th largest city in Canada, and we're known as the Forest City, which means that we have over 330 kilometers of walking trails. So if you're somebody who likes to go hiking, biking, or just kind of likes to take pictures throughout the seasons, London is a beautiful city to do that in due to all of the hiking and biking trails that we have. We're also the regional center for healthcare excellence. We're the #1 city with over 100,000 for environmentally friendly living conditions. And we're a really great city because we have the big city amenities, but we get the small, safe, small town feel, which is really cool as well. As for our programs, this is our full list of programs that you can see listed on our slide here. So King's is a liberal arts program or liberal arts campus. So we'll offer our program within the liberal arts, meaning that we will have programs in the arts and humanities, the social sciences, BMOS, which is our Bachelor's of Management and Organizational Studies or business. We also have some specialty programs like Finance and Wealth Management, our School of Social Work, and then at the top right, you can see in that bubble there that we also offer specific programs that you'll only find within the King's campus for the Western community, such as Childhood and Youth Studies, Disability Studies, Human Rights Studies, Social Justice and Peace Studies, and Thanatology. So those are some awesome programs that you can look forward to studying here with us at King's. If you are a student who is interested in going into teaching, we have 4 different programs that provide students with a pathway opportunity into Teachers College. And those programs would be our Catholic Studies for Teachers, our Childhood and Youth Studies, our Social Justice and Peace Studies, and our French program. So if you are interested in going into teaching, I would recommend starting to look at those 4 programs first, as they do give you the opportunity to have a pathway into Teachers College. We do also have a really unique program here with our Finance and Wealth Management program. So if you're a student who's looking to go into personal banking or wealth management, that is a great program to go into, as we run it as a collaborative program with Fanshawe College. So students who participate and complete that program would have alternating years between King's and Fanshawe with a shared year at the end. And if you're not familiar with Fanshawe, Fanshawe College is the college that is also within the London City. They're about a 15-minute drive away from King's. But the benefit of doing that program, if you're looking to do personal banking, wealth management, etc., would be that you're getting the university degree. So you're getting a 3-year finance degree, Bachelor of Arts from King's at Western, and you're getting a 2-year finance diploma from Fanshawe College. So not only do you have the degree plus the diploma that employers are looking for upon graduation, but with that diploma that you're getting from Fanshawe College, you're also getting lots of different certifications that will be helpful to you within that career to allow you to kind of start a rung or two up on that ladder, which is really, really useful to students. And it does prepare you to write the industry licensing exams. So you shouldn't feel like you need to take the time off after graduation to study for those and then write them. You should feel confident in yourself to go ahead and just book those and write those licensing exams with the rest of your exams at the end of the school year, which is really exciting. We are also the campus that houses our social work program within the Western community. So our social work program, we offer both as a bachelor's and a master's. The rest of our programs we offer as just bachelor's degrees for undergraduate courses. Our social work program is something that we call a second entry program. So students who are looking to study within our social work program must first complete 2 years of university before applying into the social work program to complete in years 3 and 4. So if you are thinking about social work, you would apply to us for any of our other programs and then take the social work prerequisites throughout your first 2 years and then apply into the program. We do also have a Master's of Social Work, which students can apply to after completing their undergraduate program. If you've chosen to complete your undergraduate in a Bachelor's of Social Work, you're eligible to apply for our 1-year Master's. And if you've completed your undergraduate in any other program that isn't social work, then you're eligible to apply to our 2-year Master's program for social work as well. So I think that's all I'll say about our programs for just right now, just for the sake of time. But I will be leaving some time at the end of my presentation to answer some questions. So if you do see a program on this slide right now, feel free to take a picture or write it in the chat. I'm happy to go more in depth about any of the programs that you see listed on the slide here or any other questions that you have throughout. For our admission requirements, the information on the screen here is primarily geared towards students who are applying from an Ontario high school. So if that is not you, your admission requirements may look slightly different, and feel free to ask me in our Q&A period, and I'm happy to go over alternative admission requirements. But for our high school applicants who are applying to us from grade 12 from an Ontario high school, we are going to be looking at your top 6 U or M level courses from grade 12. Always will be including English 4U in that top 6. However, some programs do have required or strongly recommended courses. The difference between required and strongly recommended: required means that you will need to make sure that you have that course completed in order to be eligible to apply to the program. And if you don't have that course completed, you wouldn't be eligible. If it says strongly recommended, it would be to your best interest to take that course before applying. However, if you didn't meet that strongly recommended course, you are still eligible to start the program. It just means that you might have an additional course or two that you would need to take in your first year to kind of make up for that course that you're missing. To apply to King's, you can apply to us on the OUAC website. We are still accepting applications. And just so that you know, we are a separate application from Western and Western's other affiliates. So make sure that you're being intentional with what choices you're selecting. If you would like to apply to both King's and another Western campus, just make sure that you're aware that that's 2 separate school choices because we do have separate admission offices. And as for admission averages, for early admission or early consideration, we're looking for an average of a mid-80, and then our final average gets determined by our applicant pool. Next, I'll talk about our Money Matters. So this is just going more in depth about ways to help fund your education. So first up, we have our scholarships and bursaries. So last year we gave out almost $3 million to King's students alone in scholarships and bursaries. And we're always looking to give out more of those scholarships and bursaries to students. So please make sure that you are applying for those. Most of our scholarships and bursaries have a deadline for applying to those by April 30th. So make sure that you're going onto our website and going to our Money Matters page to apply for those scholarships as soon as possible. Next up, we have our entrance scholarships. Those are scholarships that we will automatically give you. Those are those generous guaranteed entrance scholarships that I mentioned at the beginning of today's presentation. So these ones you don't need to apply for. As long as you have a final average of above an 82%, you will automatically be awarded this entrance scholarship. And I'll talk a little bit about the amounts on the next slide. Thirdly, we have our work study program. So if you would like to be employed on campus, you can work up to 15 hours a week for a maximum of 165 hours for the school year, which means that you're going to make a little over $2,000 working part-time during the semesters. And then you can also work full-time during the summer and make a little under $7,000 as well, which is a great opportunity. I always recommend to students, if you can, to work on campus, just because your employer will be your school. So we really understand that school comes first, and we want to make sure that first and foremost, you're getting a really well-rounded education and you are doing well in school. Next up, we have our personal assistants, and we have an amazing student financial services office at the King's campus. And if you have any questions about OSAP, budgeting for schools, or any generic questions regarding to fees, tuition, and how to do that sort of area, our student financial services office is more than happy to help any students who've applied to King's answer those questions. And they're always looking to make sure that you can book an appointment with them or drop in at their counter to get those questions answered. So this is going to go over those entrance scholarships that I was telling you about earlier. So these are the ones that you do not need to apply for. They will be automatically awarded based off of your incoming average. So if you are coming in as a high school student into any of our programs like the BMOS program, so those businessy ones, the childhood and youth studies, our arts and humanities, our social sciences, or sorry, not our arts and humanities, our social sciences, but the majority of our programs with an 82% or above, they'll start at $1,500 and then raise all the way up to $3,500 depending on what your average is sitting at. And then if you are in the arts and humanities program, so that would be things like Catholic Studies for Teachers, French, English, philosophy, religious studies, anything that's in arts and humanities, those scholarships are slightly higher just because we are a liberal arts institution. We want to benefit our arts and humanities students in that way. So for the same average of an 82%, our scholarships will start at $3,000 and go up to a $4,500 scholarship, which is really, really great. And then the next ones are just depending if you're doing a different curriculum. But for today's group, I'm assuming most of us are within this section, so I'll stick with those ones for right now. For residents, we do have guaranteed residence, as I mentioned, and residence will be guaranteed for all of our incoming students who apply before the June 1st deadline. So if you know that you're interested in coming to King's and that you would like to live on campus, just make sure that you send in your residence application prior to June 1st so that you're not stressing about will you or won't you get a residence spot. Just get that residence application in right before June 1st and you should be all set. We have over 450 students in residence per year, and 90% of those students will get their first choice of residence. So we have 5 different styles of residence, 3 of which are specifically geared to our first year students. One of the 3 is for female identifying students, and the other 2 are mixed gendered units. It's up to you which residence is kind of more your style, but as I said, over 90% of our students get their first choice in residence. So if you're not getting your first choice, you're going to get your second choice, which is really nice. And the great thing about our residence is the way that we sort out our roommates. So the majority of our residences will be double room. You can request a single room, but the standard would be a double room. And if you have somebody that you know is coming to King's and you would like to live with them, if you write their name on your residence application and they write your name on their residence application, you two will automatically be paired to live together when you come to residence. So you can kind of pick your roommate that way, which is a really fun opportunity. If you're not sure of somebody who's coming to King's, the other way would be to fill out our residence application form to kind of tell us a little bit about yourself. If you're an early morning person or a late night person, your hobbies, your interests, what program you're in, just information to kind of get to know you so that when we do choose a roommate for you, we're making a good choice that you're most likely going to want to live with again for the following years, even off campus, which is kind of cool. So we have a really good luck of actually pairing our roommates together for students who don't know someone who's coming to campus. So make sure that you do fill out that form accurately so that we're able to do that for you. For support services, we are great in our support services area. We have a service called Summer Academic Orientation, which I am lucky enough to be a part of. And that service is to help our incoming first year students go ahead and choose their courses for the upcoming school year. So right when you come in for your first year, you'll have a one-on-one appointment with myself or another one of my colleagues, and we will individually help you choose and select your courses for your first year. We'll go over your academic requirements for following years and really make sure that we set you up in a strong foundation for your upper year courses as well. We want to make sure that we give you all the information and all the resources that you need to have a successful academic career with us here at King's. And that would be in the summer before school starts. Outside of our summer academic orientation, this is not all of our services. I've just kind of put together a list of some of them. But we do also have tutoring services. We have personal, academic, and career counseling. We have The Right Place, which is an essay and writing help center. We have CAMP, or our King's Academic Mentoring Program, which is a peer mentorship program. We have our learning skills workshop. We have our job shadow program, summer internships, and we have a really, really, really great accessibility services office as well. So that is just a few of our services that we offer on campus to students. And in addition to those support services, we have a great new initiative called the King's Promise. The King's Promise is a career readiness program. So this program is geared towards students who are looking to guarantee themselves employment after graduation. So this program betters the students throughout all 4 years of university, as there will be different workshops and different networking opportunities and skills building workshops that you will need to complete throughout all 4 years to better yourself as a future employee. And if you do choose to participate in the King's Promise and you're kind of checkboxing all those things that you're supposed to be doing for the 4 years, we do guarantee that you will find meaningful employment within 6 months of graduating. And because we give you the skills to be able to acquire those positions and give you that promise, we do say that if you're not able to find meaningful employment within 6 months, that we will welcome you to come back to King's for up to an additional year of schooling free of charge, and we will pay for that upgrade year. So this is a really great safety net for students as you're kind of going out into the career market. And it's also really great career prep for you to be doing those workshops and that skills building and career readiness programming throughout your 4 years. All right, so that is just my contact information here at the end. So I will still answer any Q&As that we have in the chat in a second. But if you wanted to take a picture of this slide here to copy down my email or any of our social medias over there on the left, and you wanted to have an appointment with me or meet with me privately, I'm more than happy to do that. So feel free to take down my email. I'll pause for a couple of seconds here. But thank you so much for your time and for coming to listen to my presentation today to hear a little bit more about King's and what we have to offer at our campus. I will stop sharing my screen now. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop those in the chat and I'd be happy to answer them. Okay, awesome. So we've got quite a few questions in here. So someone is asking where most of our international students are from. So we have international students from all over the world. We have students from India, from China, from Japan, from Korea, South Korea. We have students from the Caribbean, from Latin America. We have international students from all over the world. Another student has asked, what is the difference between Western and King's? That's a really good question. So the way that I would describe the difference is academically, we're quite similar just because Western does grant the King's degrees. So King's students are Western students and you graduate with the Western degree. The difference would be that you have a smaller campus and smaller class sizes. So you get the big campus degree, but a smaller section of the campus specifically for the King's students. So we have a separate campus and separate classes. Another student has asked, can I transfer from another university? Yes, that's no problem whatsoever. You can transfer from another university. If you go to our website, it's kings.uwo.ca. We have a section for our university transfer students to kind of give you the information for what admission requirements that you would need to meet, but you can apply to us as a university transfer student just on the OUAC website as well. Another student is asking if we have a master's business degree program. So we will have undergraduate business programs, but we won't have a master's program in business at our campus. The master's programs that we'll offer at the King's campus would be in social work. And another student has asked if we have any business co-ops. That's a great question. So we do our co-ops a little bit differently. So we'll call them an internship, but those internships are run through our business program by the professors. So they're done on an individual basis. You would go to your professor and let them know that you're thinking about doing an internship, and they would help you form that connection within the community to be able to complete your business internship. Another student has asked if the criminology program has co-ops. Another great question. So business is our program that is kind of known for the internships that is built within the program for students' third year. We don't necessarily have co-ops or internships built into our other programs. However, that being said, if you went to your professor and said that you were looking to do a co-op or an internship within the criminology program or another program, I'm sure that we would be able to facilitate that and be able to help you the best that we could for that. Someone else has asked, what is the acceptance rate at King's? So the way that we do our admissions is actually a little bit different than the other schools. So we will accept on a rolling admission basis. So we don't have a cutoff date for when we stop accepting applications, just so that way if students are needing to do upgrading courses in the summer or things like that, that they're able to still apply throughout the summer. So as long as you're meeting our admission requirements, you should be okay. And another student has asked if there are any scholarships for international students. Yes, we do have scholarships for international students. If you want to send me an email, I can for sure give you that information. And if you do apply to King's, we will send you a letter saying that we've received your application, and then we'll also send you a form saying the information regarding our international scholarships, tuition fees, all that kind of stuff as well. This question is asking, for the work study, what kind of places on campus will students end up working? That's a really good question. So as a work study student, you can work really anywhere on campus. I personally was actually a work study student when I was a King's student, and I worked in our enrollment services office. I kind of just answered the phones and the counters, did some filing, that kind of office administrative work. But you could work in our King's International office. You could work in student finance. You could work in the library and campus ministry and accessibility. You could work, where else? In our academic dean's office. You could work in the residence office. You could work anywhere on campus as a work study student. Another student has asked, how is the city campus life and living off campus like? Oh, that's a really good question too. I love all the great questions. So the city and campus life is really good. Western and King's, so King's is just directly across the street from Western. But we're located in a really convenient spot within the city of London. So if you're familiar with London, both of us are kind of off of Richmond Street. And if you go 10 minutes down this way, probably not even 10, probably like 5 to 10 minutes down this way, you'll reach one of our two large malls. And if you go 5 to 10 minutes the other way, you'll be right in our downtown core. So we're in a really convenient location within the city to be able to access our city amenities as well. So living off campus or on campus, either is a good choice depending on what is a better fit for you as a student. If you are living off campus, I do recommend still making sure that you're making the effort to stay involved in the on-campus activities like orientation week or any kind of on-campus events, just so that you have that same experience. But we are located in a great spot within the city, and there's lots of things to do within London all the time, which is really fun. This question is asking, are there any computer science programs at King's, and do they offer co-op? So computer science, unfortunately, we won't offer at my specific campus. We do offer a major in analytics and decision sciences. It's not the same as computer science, but it touches slightly in computer science, business, and one other thing, math. So it's kind of putting those three together, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that if you're specifically looking for computer science. I would say go for a computer science program, but our analytics and decision sciences would be the most similar to that. This question is saying, is it possible to complete a program completely online? So at King's, our programs are predominantly offered in person. You can take 1 or 2 classes online, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to complete the program fully online. We do have a thanatology certificate that you can complete online, but you do still need to be enrolled in a full program to be able to be completing a certificate at the same time. Someone's just saying that they love the King's Promise. Thank you. I'm so glad to hear that. This question is saying, how many international students are Canadian? So most of our international students won't be from Canada if they're coming in as an international student. We do have lots of permanent residents who are studying with us at King's, and we do have lots of immigrant families or first-generation Canadians who are studying at King's as well. But Canada in general is very multicultural, and so is our campus, which is awesome. This question is saying, how many application windows does King's have? Can I apply in January? That is a great question. So we will accept applications for our September start date or our January start date. If you are looking to apply to start in January, you can send me an email directly and I can give you the link to apply for January. If you're planning to apply for the September, that application is open now and you're able to apply on the OUAC website. This question is just asking what I studied at King's. Thank you for asking. I did a double major in sociology and criminology, and I really, really liked my program. I graduated back in 2019, but I loved my program because I really got to specialize in areas that I was interested in. So I got to take courses that were very interesting to me, like gangsters in the mob, policing, security and surveillance, sociology of deviance, things that I was really interested in, which I really, really liked. This one is asking, what about online options? Only certificates, or can I get a bachelor's or master's degree? So you wouldn't be able to do a bachelor's or the master's of social work or the rest of our bachelor's programs online. Those ones you would have to do in person. You can take 1 or 2 courses online, but you wouldn't be able to do the full program. You wouldn't be able to graduate with a bachelor's or a master's from an online program. Our programs are offered in person. This one is just asking, is there free tutoring available on campus? Yes, there is. So we will have free tutoring available on the King's campus, specifically within our grammar, our math, and our writing. Those are our 3 most popular tutoring services that are available, and they are free. We do have other tutoring services that are available that you can access from Western as a King's student as well. Most of those are free, some are paid, but for sure at King's we have math tutoring, writing tutoring, and grammar tutoring that are all free and accessible to students year-round. This question is asking, can I join a sorority while studying? So sororities are done kind of separately. They're not run through the actual university themselves. They're mostly done through our student population. But if you're looking to join a sorority, I would talk to the students on campus, and I'm sure that you'd be able to join one no problem. This one is asking, do we offer a massage therapy program? That is a really cool career. So I don't offer a massage therapy program at King's. I want to say that that one is probably more geared towards the college aspect. So I would maybe start there with your search. It could be offered at the university level, and I just don't know, but I would assume that one would be within the colleges. So maybe look at the college websites and see if you can find that one. This person is saying, cool, I've thought about studying crim. I am very biased, so I would recommend studying criminology because I really liked it. And I have nothing but great things to say about it. So maybe take an elective in your first year in criminology and kind of get a taste and see what you think. But I really had a great time in that program. This person is saying, I have heard a lot of good things about sports at King's. Is that true? Yes, that is true. So we love having student athletes at King's. It's a really great opportunity for you to still study and get involved on the campus by doing some sort of athletics. So we'll have student athletes that are playing a varsity sport at Western, but still studying, getting the small campus feel at King's, which is really great. And I've heard lots of positive feedback from our student athletes that they really enjoy sitting at the King's campus, which is awesome to hear. But yes, if you're thinking about playing sports and sitting at King's, you can definitely do that at our campus. This question is just asking how far the campus is from the States. So London is kind of close to Detroit. I would say we're about 3 to 4 hours away from Detroit. But it depends on where in the States you're looking to come. But we're in the province of Ontario. This question is just asking, does Western have something similar to the King's Promise? You know what? That is a great question. I know that Western does have career counseling, but I'm not sure if they have the guarantee for meaningful employment or things like that. I believe that the King's Promise is just uniquely specific to the King's campus, but for sure reach out to Western and see because they might have something and I just am not aware. And this question is asking, does it say Western on the degree? Yes, it does. I actually have my degree above my desk, and it says the University of Western Ontario. The Senate, on the recommendation of King's University College, has conferred upon my name the degree of Bachelor's of Arts, 4-year program, major in criminology, major in sociology. So it does say Western University on your degree. So you're welcome to put that right on your resume that you've graduated with a Western degree, or a King's degree, whatever is more comfortable for you to put on your resume. And this question is asking, what sports teams do you have that are open to join? So for sports teams, we have lots of different versions. So we'll offer sporting and teams at any different level. So we'll have varsity, which you would join at the Western campus, which would be the competitive level. We also have intramural, and we have open level. So intramural would be like for fun, but slightly competitive, and open would just be just for fun. So we've got lots of different levels of sports that you can do. And we've got tons of different sporting teams like basketball. We have rowing, we have water polo, we have football, we have soccer, we have hockey, we have tennis, we have track and field. We've got tons of different sports that you're able to join. And then at King's specifically, we do also have a budget within our student council to create new clubs or teams every year. So if you petition to start a club or a team that you notice that we didn't have that you'd like to create, you can petition with student council to get that started for the school year as well, which is really nice. And this one is asking, this one's asking if there's a rivalry between King's and Western. That's so funny. No, there's no rivalry between King's and Western. So King's is a part of Western, and we love our Western campus. And we are happy to be a part of the Western community. There's no rivalry. We're happy to be there and be a part of the Western community. This question is just asking what restaurants we have on campus. So that's a great question. So we have lots of different restaurants on campus. Our campus will have King's specific restaurants. So if I say the names, you probably aren't going to recognize them. But for main brand restaurants that you have on our campus, we'll have things like Subway, Pizza. And then we also, if you're living on residence, you can have your flex dollars to spend off campus at any of our partnering restaurants. And I don't want to say those ones out loud because I know that we just updated and added a couple of ones for this year, and I can't remember which ones they are, so I don't want to mislead, but I'm sure that you could find those ones on our website. But other restaurants that we have on campus that are King specific would be Grillworks, which is a burger place. We have Umami, which is a rice bowl section. Another brand name that we have is Aso Sushi, which is kind of nice. And then we have a salad bowl place. We have the Healthy Kitchen. We have a bunch of different options for you. And then this one is asking about transportation. Are there any buses or transportation on campus? Yes. So that is a great question. Thank you for asking. As a King's or Western campus student, you will receive a Western student card. And if you're a full-time student, that student card will work as a London Transit bus pass. So it'll work as a city bus pass, and you're able to use any of the city buses for free throughout the school year. And the great thing is that it actually extends past the school year. So it'll start in September and end in August. So you can use that bus pass through the summer as well. And then we also have shuttle buses, and the shuttle buses are free transportation regardless of if you're a full-time, part-time, or any kind of student. And those shuttle buses will take you between the Western campuses. So if you have an off-campus class at another campus, or you're playing a sport, or just wanted to go and visit the other campuses, you're welcome to take those shuttle buses at any time to travel back and forth for free between the campuses. And this question is asking, how big are the class sizes? Will I talk to the professor ever? That's so funny. Yes. So our class sizes are about 50 to 60 students in first year, and then they get significantly smaller the higher up in years as you're specializing in your program. And you will get to talk to your professors, which is a really important thing. So when I was in my first year, I had a class called Disability Studies in my first year, and Dr. Pamela Cushing was my professor for that. And she made a point to make sure that she spoke to each individual student throughout that school year to make sure that she heard everybody's perspectives and everybody got a chance to participate, which is really nice. And even to this day, when she sees me on campus, she remembers my name. And I really did get to talk to her in my first year class, despite the size of being 50 to 60. And then in your upper year courses, they do get smaller and smaller. So I remember having a course that had 12 students in it, including myself. So I did really have the opportunity to be able to share my opinions and have more of a collaborative learning environment. So at King's, you definitely will be talking to your professors. They'll notice if you're not coming to class, so make sure that you are coming to your classes and things like that. But you will definitely get to talk to your professors and have a really one-on-one time with them throughout your degree, which is awesome. And this question is just asking how far away we are from Toronto. So we're about a 2-hour drive with good traffic. If you're driving in rush hour, probably not just the 2, but we're 2 hours in good traffic from here to Toronto. And this one is asking if we're a commuter school and about student life. So if you wanted to commute to come into campus, you can definitely do that. We're not too far from lots of different cities. I feel like you could probably commute if you were living in Sarnia or within the KW Kitchener-Waterloo area, because those ones are only about an hour away. You could commute from farther if you're not too upset about doing that drive, but we are in a pretty convenient location, I would say. And student life, we've got tons of different opportunities for students to get involved on campus and really make their student life a good experience for themselves. So you can get involved in many different ways, whether it be clubs, activities, teams, things like that. We have volunteer-based clubs. Student council will run different events like our grad ball or a charity ball and things like that throughout the year that you can get involved in as well. Right now, we just finished our Student Appreciation Week last week, where we ran a week long of different events for students to do on campus, which is really cool, but there's always things to do within the King's community. And this one's asking how big our campus is. So our campus is about 8 buildings in total. It's relatively small, but we have about 3,500 students in total at our campus. So we're pretty small in comparison to the medium to larger size universities, which is kind of nice. This question is just asking, as an international student, oh, you'll definitely be considering King's. That is so nice to hear. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. This one is asking for any stats on grad outcomes. We do have stats on our grad outcomes, and I don't know where I put that document. If you can send me an email for the stats on grad outcomes, what you were looking for, I can definitely get back to you on that. I just don't want to say any stats that are inaccurate because I'm not remembering them off the top of my head, but we do have our stats for our grad outcomes, and I know that they were positive, so that's a good thing. I just don't want to say the wrong numbers to you. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, so I know that we're kind of coming close to the end of our time here because it's about 7:52 and this session goes until 7:55. So my colleague Erin will be at the King's University booth. So if you do have questions, feel free to go and chat to Erin in that booth. Or I did share my email earlier on the slide, but if you missed it, it's just my full name. So it's jessica.mylastnamejames@kings.uwo.ca. So if there was a question that you had that I didn't get a chance to answer before we reach 7:55, feel free to chat with us in our booth or send me any questions, and I'm happy to chat with you further. But thank you so much for your time and for all of your great questions. It was really nice getting to chat with you in this kind of format, and I hope to see some of you at King's or on a campus tour in the upcoming weeks or months. And thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much for your time, and what a great, insightful presentation. Thank you again, and I've left the link in the chat for the booth. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate. Thanks again, Jess.
Thank you.